Changes are coming and it's all going digital. Hey, I'm John from Westway IT and here's what you need to know about the BT network changes. First things first, let's talk about what's happening. The copper network, the phone socket you might have a phone and internet plugged into, is changing to only support internet connections. That means you won't be able to plug in a phone and make calls like you used to.
Sideways?
See, it's good to talk.
BT, the company that runs the network with all the copper wires, the poles, the cabinets and the exchanges, has set 2025 as the year when these changes will kick in. The reason behind these changes is that the old network is getting outdated and used less and less as more locations have fibre to premise or are covered by high-speed internet providers like cable, both of which are internet only. We're also relying less on traditional landlines plugged into those sockets as we move towards using more mobile phones and VoIP, voice over IP. This combination of factors is why BT is making these changes. In several areas there has already been a stop on installing and activating new services on the copper network, and there will be a nationwide stop in September 2023. Both businesses and homes still using the old phone socket for phone calls will need to plan for this change.
Annie, it's for you!
The replacement for the traditional phone service is VoIP, which is voice over IP. It essentially means making phone calls over the internet. But it's not just voice that will be affected. Other devices like fax machines, alarms, payment terminals and lifts that rely on phone lines will also need to be upgraded. If you can't use email or another transfer service, there are alternatives like email to fax to replace fax machines. As for alarms, lifts and payment terminals, they can be connected to mobile phone networks, or your internet network can use your internet connection. Talk to your different providers to see what options are available. And just make sure you have sufficient backup power for your needs. For instance, an emergency phone can no longer be powered through the phone line. You will need a backup battery for all the equipment required to make that emergency call. Moving to VoIP doesn't mean you lose your phone numbers. However, you will need to buy new phones or use an app. At Westway IT, we've been using VoIP for years, and with an app I can make business calls from my mobile as if I was using a phone on my desk. It's incredibly mobile, allowing me to make and receive calls anywhere with an internet connection. The best part is I'm not limited to just one device. I have the mobile app, an app on my computer for click to dial functionality, and a desk phone. Additionally, I receive voicemail messages via email with the voicemail attached. For convenient playback, I just double click on the attachment and there's my voicemail recording. If you've enjoyed this video, we have another one that we think you might like. I'm John, and I'll see you next time.